Well, Noble's going to have a chance to remedy that. We're going to head into Game 2. Picks and bans. Elevate getting the better end of it in this one here. And the sides have been switched. So Elevate now going to be rocking the order side as Noble take on Chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. Number one thing has to change. Picks and bans. Noble have to have a cohesive... Like I said, I'm down to see the Chang'e mid. I'm really fine. But it can't be a... I have to see a different jungler or a solo lane in order for me to be okay with it.
I mean, the Susano can be good, but I think, you know, just paired with the Chang'e just doesn't really work out too much. Elevate, though, they're going to start off by banning away Thor. So... not the traditional ban we really see coming out in the SCL.
Sure.
Occasionally will be banned away, but I'm a little bit surprised to see Elevate take it out first card.
Yeah, just an option to limit Noble's ability to... Thor is a character that does very well when it comes to objectives and that intelligent gameplay that we were talking about. So it's a good tool for a team like Noble to have at their disposal.
You can just never go wrong with Thor. That's kind of the deal.
Yep.
Raijin kind of hard to go wrong with as well, so that's going to be taken out. And once again, that Ratatoskr ban by Elevate, a god that they really don't want to deal with, something that they really don't want Freya on, it seems.
Cabrakan, good ban from Noble. They saw that it was a problem last time around, so Elevate going to have first pick. And it won't be Cabrakan this time like we've seen from a number of SCL
Guan
teams.
Yu, right? I mean, this got to be Guan.
It's got to be Guan.
It's got to be Guan. Guan Yu? Alex, I'll take Guan Yu for first pick, please. Thank you very much, Guan.
And you would be correct, sir. Guan Yu.
Thank you.
From the Pantheon.
From the Pantheon?
Yep.
What?
I forgot what Pantheon, so I just said the Pantheon.
Chinese.
I know.
You want to know how you know? Because he's two names. Guan Yu,
Okay.
Zhang Kui, Na Jia,
Sun Wukong.
Sun Wukong,
That's 3.
Hebo.
I'm using
No,
Cobb.
Wukong is 1.
Okay, I'm using Cobb.
That's 3, and that's Mayan.
Xing Qian.
Production told you Amu's and Cobb, and you rolled with it.
Xing Qian.
Noble Esports here looking to pick. They got 5 seconds left. They better pick pretty fast. Their options are abound. Bacchus could be likely. You seriously said that Amu's and Cobb is Chinese. Stop talking to me.
Fenrir.
Scylla.
Sobek.
Scylla's got a pretty big win rate there. Picked in 24 SCL matches, 16 wins, and it's going to be the Athena paired with it.
Yeah, I mean, the Scylla is the quintessential, that's the burst, right? That's the burst. With the Chang'e pick, you were missing the burst right there. Again, I'd be down with the Chang'e pick, but then I want to see a Na Jia and a Wheelish, something like that in the jungle.
All right, Scylla jungle, Chang'e mid.
I tried Scylla jungle when she first came out.
How'd it work?
There's a reason
you know
I'm not a pro.
You know what I did yesterday? I played Anubis in the mid lane against a Neath, and I went Vanguard Purple Pot.
That sounds terrible.
And I almost 2v1'd them, and I tried to style, but I died. So then my Purple Pot was dead, and I had no magical power because I went Vanguard. But I was destroying them before I tried to style in 2v1. Elevate here, they're going to be trying to style a little bit. They've got Susano, a lot of mobility, as well as the Ho Yi.
Ho Yi? Wow, I think you're onto something. Hun Batz?
It is a thing.
Yeah, just like Hun Batz, it works. 2 names. Must be in that Pantheon? No? All right. Hun Batz is a good pick for Noble Esports again. Objective-oriented character. Will be able to dissuade anybody looking at a Gold Fury, Fire Giant, or any early tower. Certainly an I already am happier with Noble. If Noble took the field with these 3 gods and nobody else, I would like the composition better than the 5 they had last time.
Tom.
What's up?
Were you trying to be sarcastic that whole time by saying, like, the Amus and Cobb? I'm not saying that all 2-name gods are Chinese. I said that all Chinese are 2-name in the game.
Okay. Like Chang'e. Production is just feeding me misinformation, and I love it. I just go with it. Kronos will be banned out. Paul, no thank you. Man, Paul has such an interesting god pool. Well, especially when you consider he's Hunter now playing mid lane, right? Like, Habois, he was just like, yeah, I'll play in the Hunter role, I don't really care. Kronos has a little bit of that mix and match. No big deal.
I want to see a Habois here, just because it's fun.
I always want to see Hebo, man.
It's funny, man. He's also got a Guan Yu. Actually, Habois would just get annihilated by Noble's comp. Look at that, Scylla, Athena, Hun Batz. If they play it right. They might not play it right. Also, an Apollo. Ooh, look at that dive potential onto the Habois.
Yeah.
Do it anyway, Paul. Do it anyway, Paul!
That's Paul, baby. I'm Paul from PC.
And final pick coming in for Elevate's comp here. They need a solo laner, and it's going to be the Chinese god Sun Wukong.
I thought Sun Wukong was 3 words.
I know you did. I told you it wasn't when you said that.
But I thought you were punking me.
No. I said Amu's and Cobb is 3.
So you've got...
He's Mayan, though.
Look at this team elevate. Guan Yu, Ho Yi, Hebo, Sun Wukong. 4 out of 5.
It's Sun Wukong.
That's if you're counting syllables. I'm counting words. 4 out of 5 of these gods that elevate come from the Chinese pantheon with 2 names. That's awesome.
Scylla, Athena, Batz.
See, that's syllables.
Apollo.
Syllables.
I got it.
Thank you.
Oh, man. We got to get into this game right now because we cannot handle picks and bans anymore. So me and Totally play a game. It's called Spot the Shenanigans.
Spot the Shenanigans.
However, I think the Shenanigans is us at this point. I think we're...
Spot the
Tom,
Shenanigans. I'm pointing to the Shenanigans.
Tom, I think we are. What do you mean? Don't point at me. I'm not a shenanigan. Our picks and bans went great. We said all the god names. We said Hebo. We called it.
You know,
Style Boys.
In realness, if you take away all of the nonsense, we actually predicted and did a pretty good analysis of that picks ban phase. We just had way too fun with the fact that most Chinese gods in the pantheon have 2 names.
First pick, and then Hebo, and Sun Wukong,
and the Batz, and the Scylla, Kabrakan ban. Yep, we're on point.
3 Chinese gods.
4.
No, 4.
4. I literally just said that when I was clapping. That was the whole thing with the clap.
Oh, I thought you were doing in their names, like the 2 names.
Yeah. They're
Which are Chinese.
It works out.
I just want to see this Hobwall with Purple Pot wreck kids.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I love seeing him like he's not good in the meta like overall, and that's the thing. It's like that's the thing with Chang'e. So when you look at tiers, a lot of things are kind of also based around how you struggle when you get behind.
Sure.
Or how easy it is for you to get behind. And that's kind of where Chang'e and Hebo, where on a tier list, they're very low. Because if they get behind, they're absolutely garbage.
Yeah, because there's no utility on the kit whatsoever.
And it's easy for them to get behind because they're very close melee, in quotes, mages.
Pose you a question then. How come Zeus is respected? Because if Zeus gets behind, he can't do anything anyway.
Because Zeus has more damage, and it's also safer because of lightning strike.
I mean, sure, but if he gets behind, it's not doing any damage.
It's his mid heartbeat control.
There you go. All right, sweet, awesome.
Chain lightning, just pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
And in those 2v2 or 3v3 fights, like he's really good. He's really good in the early game because smaller fights benefit him because he gets more guaranteed stacks for detonates.
And that's really the key here because I mean, he was a character that like, if he gets off, it's really scary. Part of me wants to see a 4 protect 1 strategy with Hebo, right? You draft the Neith, you draft the Athena, all this nonsense, and then you just let Hobwa go ham. I think that's actually a legitimate strategy. Now, the reason Paul can pick Hebo is because Paul can pick Hebo. I mean, that's his top 3 god, I would say. At least one of them.
Yeah, Hebo's definitely a god that most people don't practice.
Right.
So to play him, especially with how risky he is, you need to practice him so much, which is why if you have 5k worshippers on him, then it's okay. Aggression here coming out from the mid lane, but it's just poke as Susano just trying to put lane control in the hands of Elevate.
Paul also traditionally is one of these hyper-aggressive players. He's always risk versus reward, so it's no surprise to me that a god like Hebo is somebody that he has grinded so much. It's just the playstyle fits the archetype of the player. We see him dive phoenixes at 10 minutes with Chronos and then rewind all the way up the lane. We see him repeatedly do odd stuff like this in whatever position he plays. So the fact that Hubble has a character on Paul specifically is no surprise to me at all.
And he's hit level 5, so nothing coming out of Noble yet, trying to put pressure on him. They do have a Batz though, so I mean, typically you don't really want to fight until you are that level 5.
Yep.
And you can see Purification is online for Hebo, so maybe something he might just look to burn. Just pop that combo straight onto the Hebo, burn his Purification, and then, you know, when it's all up again and those Purifications are still down, just kill him. I'm surprised we don't see that more often, honestly.
Just, yeah, burning the relics, certainly.
Yeah, just people like, oh, I can't kill him because he's got, you know, Purification. But maybe he can actually kill this Sun Wukong who's already popped his ult, and he has no Purification. Sun Wukong, though, going to play that perfectly. And it didn't look like Noble even wanted to try and get the kill there, not covering the options.
Found the exit very easily. Was Broadway. This is his second game. His debut was on Kabrakan, just last one. So we'll keep a close eye on to see just how strong he's going to do here. And see, look, this I do like this because we talk about how dangerous Hebo is, or at least to play, right? How susceptible he is to death. But at the same time, look how much space the enemy's giving him, because one knockup, we'll see you later, man.
Well, it's also, you know, you look at the team comp, right? It's like you get knocked up from Paul, then you're going to get like siphoned back in by Susano, then you're going to get ulted and knocked up once again by Typhoon.
No, you're already dead.
And then Hebo is going to ult your dead body.
Oh, you're just already dead. It's just already done.
Paul would ult for like one hit. You know who did that once? Jerby. At a LAN, and it lost them the game. It's pretty nasty. I think it was kickoff LAN.
The kickoff LAN. I remember that one. That LAN, I think that's the only Smite LAN I didn't work. That's the one that I drove down to. So I was living in New York at the time. I drove down in a Mini Cooper. Me, Wolfie, Nantan, and Nantan's brother in a Mini Cooper.
I remember this.
Drove from New York to Georgia. 20 hours. It was, period. We'll just leave it at that.
That's a car. Not a very big car, and a
No.
couple of large men.
Yep.
And Nantan.
It was an entertaining time, let's put it that way.
And looks like some entertainment on the right-hand side. 3 members grouped up here. They're going to look for the Sun Wukong. Nice Ox for him, but he's run straight into the Athena.
The
there
taunt.
it is.
Yep.
And the overhand smash going to confirm it, along with Grattywind's last hit. Typhoon going to use knock up 2, and here's Paul.
Ooh.
But the ult going to make sure that the tier can get out for free.
Good hold on the ult from Paul. I think a lot of players would have just mashed their 4 button right there after the knockup, expecting the kill on the tier, but tier, seeing the writing on the wall, goes ahead and finds the flip. So no ultimate from Paul, saved. Very
Even
nice.
with the 500 gold bounty for Noble there, all is even right now. So Elevate doing a little bit better farming job. You can see 4 gold separating the teams.
Oh, wow.
100 experience here. Guan has made the rotation as well, and James just going to take a lot of damage, get plucked back as well. If Paul connects that knockup, that's a dead monkey. The second dead monkey in the game, actually.
2 monkeys, different teams. I love the double monkey comp. Like, realistically, I think Sun Wukong and Hun Batz on the same team are actually very, very strong. Lots of disruption.
What about the quad dog?
I mean, yes, I have to think about it, like, analytically, but I will say I'm always down for more dogs.
And Sun Wukong's going to be fine, but this is actually really rough right now for him. He's just teleported back in the lane, or walked back in the lane. He's got TP up in 30 seconds, but I mean, yoyoabc is just completely bullying Broadway right now, and it's going to be very hard for him to get back in this match. Surprisingly so, though, he's actually even in gold with yoyoabc. Don't know how that happened.
I mean, Broadway has shown. He's been brought onto this roster for a reason, and the only time we've seen him really falter is when he got ganked 3-on-1. And he almost got out. So Broadway has shown us something special here. The fact that he got ganked is behind an experience, but keeping up in gold is a strong look.
Guan, you're going to be fine here. And the jump away from Shame. And here comes the ult. But a good Sanctuary. And now Paul by himself. And you can see Athena trying to line up the taunt, but it's still on cooldown. And just a walk away. And here comes the Guan Yu. Going to heal everyone up.
Yeah, that was a rough play for Paul. Definitely got Sanctuary out there. Excellent stuff coming out from Noble, but just not going to happen this time around.
And this Guan Yu, this is going to be real hard to deal with. He's also gone into the meditation, which we see Guan Yu do so much, and the tank boots. And this Guan Yu is, his entire strategy is going to be centered around just trying to stay in the back line and using that conviction on cooldown, keeping everyone maxed out. And even right there, you could see, I mean, the Susano Freya was very low and already almost full health.
And that's why we see the Guan Yu banned out so often, is because not only does he have that effect, like that raw effect where, okay, that sucked and we'll heal up and we'll get him next time, but he also has the Chang'e effect where you can heal in battle. The fact that he does both, I mean, Chang'e doesn't heal enough to make that outside heal really worth it. Guan Yu's heal sits right in the middle, where it's just powerful inside combat, it's powerful outside combat. It's just, he's honestly mad strong.
Yeah, and he also has, all the cooldowns as well, right? That's why you see so many Guan Yus just build that max cooldown so they can get those convictions up multiple times in a fight. And it's just really hard to play against, right? And it's not the traditional sense where, like, you see a lot of these first pickers, like, Raijin is just going to burst me, or Kabrakan's never going to die and then burst me. Guan Yu, all his all his, like, you know, why you pick him is all based around when you're not even fighting, just the healing out of combat.
And, you know, and it's also just having that, like you said, during the combat with the max CDR, having it up a lot. That's really what it's about. And, you know, when you look at a character like Hell or a character like Ra, these are like big burst heals. And if those are like the bazooka heals, Guan is sort of like an Uzi. He's just constantly like heal, 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 heal. And when you're in the middle of a fight and all this distributed damage is going out, that's what straight up wins you the team fights.
And look at this, Elevate here trying to bait someone out, but it's actually going to be one taunt, and their son Wukong is going to hit someone
Nice
on the
dash.
side, and a nice dash, like you said, going to avoid that I'm a monster here. Trouble for Guan Yu, though, and he's going to be forced to ult out, but it is going to be pressing forward from Broadway, and it looks like Noble are going to be able to disengage. Elevate still want pressure, though.
And with the Guan Yu at their disposal, certainly an option.
Yo,
Here
yo.
comes Tier, flip on top, looking for a target, can't find one. Immediately right into the Angry Fearless stance, and he misses. Hi, guys.
Look at this, though. Paul's still up in the front there, and he's actually by himself. He needs to be careful trying to get out, and he is going to be able to disengage successfully. And Lou getting hit by the ricochet, but it's not enough damage. Paul finally gets the first kill in this fight, and it is yoyoabc. The Hou-Yi ult used aggressively here. Scylla has to back, Apollo has to back, and Elevate, they're looking for gold.
He's going to go right to the Gold Fury. Excellent choice here. Wins the fight in the middle lane. And with Tier the only one down, Noble Esports does have an opportunity, but the only ultimate available is Athena. So see you later. No fear, no evil. Gold Fury goes the way of Elevate.
And Broadway here, just going to peel. Actually, might have been able to connect a kill there if he found that. And
that doesn't
one
seem
more
like a
auto
good
attack.
choice.
Come on, Athena's just trying to... This is actually decent. Are you talking about Paul or Grattywind?
I'm talking about Grattywind. Paul can just turn and burn.
Oh, no, his ult's down. Oh, no, his ult's up.
Yup.
Oh. Oh, no,
That
don't do
was-
that. Oh, Freya. Oh, Jetstream. Okay, good
Grattywind
job.
got lucky. Paul was eating or something.
Paul didn't know where anyone else was in the map, or else he would have killed it. If he knew no one else was around, he just would have full committed to
Yeah,
that.
that was, ooh.
Ooh.
I like Grattywind being aggressive, but that was rough.
Speaking of, ooh, look at this right-hand side.
Son of Wukong.
Yeah, this is interesting. His ultimate's not up either, and he's going to run straight into Shame, and he has no way to get out of this one here. His escape's already been used, and Yo-Yo picks up the kill.
He said run straight into Shame. He ran straight into the wall, and then he got pushed into the wall, and then he got taunted into the wall.
What was he doing there?
Proxy farming.
Yeah, but like his entire team had just backed, and Noble was coming. Like,
Hey, you asked me what, not why.
why was he there?
Fifth. I played the fifth. I have no idea.
So
I have
Elevate, despite
no help.
getting that gold Fury, are only up 500 gold. It's been Noble actually to get a majority of the kills in this match here.
Yeah, this has been a big turnaround, and again, it's. I think it points to composition last time around. Noble just didn't have the balanced composition. They didn't have the food pyramid, if you will, and because of that, they just sort of dropped the ball.
Now they have their dessert, their Scylla, or is that the main dish?
I mean, that's like your team is built on crowd control and
Shanghai
damage.
would probably be a dessert, right? If you're looking at the food pyramid.
Like fat soils and sweets.
Yeah, like the top little portion.
Yep.
And they didn't have the full spread, right? And also, you're not supposed to have that anyway, right?
I mean, it's use sparingly is the terminology.
That's fair.
there,
Oh,
right?
shame. No mana. He does pop his Sanctuary, though. He's going to get knocked up, and no follow-up from Elevate. Paul can't dive into that tower, not with the Scylla around. Still, though, the attempt is there, and it's really been Elevate actually pressuring into this mid lane most of the game, right? The only time Noble's really found kills has been in the solo lane.
Yeah, and it's been off of the back of like 4-on-1 engagements. It hasn't been even fights. I'd say even because fair is not the word I'm looking for. It's always been that numbers advantage that gives Noble their victories. They haven't won a fight versus fight yet.
However, they do have the Scylla with Dumorb online. She's going to start to stack that one up. Shame, he wants Paul. There's the taunt, there's the purification, and actually
Nice Puri.
connects onto both big CCs. The rotation's coming from Zachsy, and Super can't get away. And here comes the Tiger Stun as Paul's pushed into the wall from Yo-Yo in the backside, but the knockup's going to be good, and the ult is even better. Here trying to get out, but Broadway's run straight into him.
Shame's going to be in some trouble as well. Here comes Guan Yu over the top, and Broadway finally lands down off the cloud as the players push forward. There's a strong heal from Guan Yu, and it's going to create enough HP to allow the team to engage one more time. Elevate have the kill lead, and it looks like they're going to sweep away the gold lead with the structure going down here. 500 gold in the pockets of Team Elevate.
Seems like they still want more. I don't know if they have the damage, though, and Stormy is going to be taunted out of that xxLOU assault. Zachsy just throwing out as much bonus damage as he can, trying to get himself a little bit higher on that damage charts, and now Elevate have a pretty decent lead, about 1,000 gold.
Yeah, just starting it off, Elevate definitely going to use this as a foothold to go someplace else. Gold Fury's down quite obviously, which is why we saw the hard push, trying to find the second tower, but not in the books, as you said. There just wasn't enough cooldowns available to the team. So they get the tier 1, and they get, that's pretty much it.
And Zachsy's back to farming here. He's got his Soul Eater online. Be interested to see what he works into, and Paul's going straight for the penetration. He's gone into the Dynasty Plant Helm and the Shoes of the Magi, so that 25 flat. Now working on the Obsidian Shard. A little bit surprising to not see him go into, you know, kind of a stacking item.
It depends. I like this straight penetration on the Habwa because you're just... it's just devastating, honestly. The stacking item, I mean, what do you have? You have Thoth, which is a lot of power, which he can find. He's going to pick up the Spear, or the Rod of Tahuti, rather.
Do more of a Warlocks.
Well played.
Do more of a Warlocks also work. If he feels like, you know, he's going to get doved by, I don't know, like if I could think of a comp that'd be really good against Tebow, probably like Hunbat's, Athena tier, Apollo, Scylla. Yeah, all those are really good at diving, you know, kind of the Hebos.
So here's my stance on it. Because of what you just laid out, do more not an option. Because of what you laid out, I mean, is Warlock Sash going to save your life against that composition? Probably not. So, I mean, just say screw it, you go for the true damage.
And he's looking for the true damage. Jetstream, but not going to find the Siphon back in. Shame waiting around the corner. And I'm still really surprised that we haven't seen Noble try and abuse this Hebo, right? Even just using these abilities just to burn the Purification, and then the second, like, when you know they're down, then just look to re-engage. He's gone in a blink. He's not going to survive if you can find him in a Fear No Evil with no Purification. Stormy here, going to be chasing out Lou. Is going to find the stun, but he's got no follow-up. So Lou will be fine for now as Freya zones out one on the right-hand side. And actually, here comes Shame to the back line. Nice. He's actually going to TP straight over that Hebo ultimate, but it doesn't look like there's any follow-up from his team. And Stormy, I mean, he's just going to be popping that Conviction and healing everyone up nonstop.
And that's Guan Yu. That's why he's banned in virtually every single match we have, because of that heal. Keep in mind, here comes the Monkey. Shame doesn't have the ultimate online. The only ultimate online for Noble is the Scylla ult. Tier ult, but I don't really count that one as an ultimate. It's more
I'm a monster. Oh, it connects, but I mean, there's just not enough damage. Zachsy's still fine here, and Freya's pushing forward. Gonna find Same, who jumps away out of the Ho-Yi ultimate, but the slow is on to yoyoabc. And once again, I mean, Elevate, they're pushing forward. Noble, their positioning has been phenomenal, though.
Noble's positioning has been phenomenal. To be fair, I mean,
Sanctuary,
Elevate's has as well.
Not enough.
Both of these teams have really positioned themselves fantastically. That's why we see such low kill counts despite a ton of aggression.
There's the taunt. And you can see Gold Fury here being contested.
Evo's
back in, though.
And that's
a fair amount of damage. No ultimate online for him. But if he holds his water cans, he'll be fine. And Broadway could actually look to chase down Shame. That's not going to be enough damage. Now turning his attention to the Athena, who's rotating in. But the Gold Fury's already been picked up by Elevate. It was a long-fought battle, but it finally happens. And Lou just trying to get a tower on the right-hand side to compensate.
Yeah, I mean, that was shaky. I think Noble had a chance at taking that Gold Fury, but as soon as Hebo shows up, you gotta just leave. Just turn 360 degrees and walk away.
And still, though, I mean, look at this. Every time we see this big up, it's
Triple
immediate down. And yoyoabc finds 3, but Shame's off the mark on the Fear No Evil. If that's pushed on that wall, that's probably a wipe from Noble. And now Elevate, they might be able to turn this down. They're going to pop their spit, trying to disengage, but Noble, they're going to be chasing still. Yo-Yo over the top. He's going to push Stormy into the wall here. Is there going to be enough damage? His ult is going to be activated. And actually, Stormy gets out, and Broadway's already picked up Shame.
And I mean, that's the problem right there is they're sure, maybe if the Batz ultimate is a little bit better, you got a fantastic 3-man Fearless against 2 tanks and a hunter. It was just too tanky.
The problem was that no one lined up their stuff. We see the taunt into the shield wall, and before the second part of the shield wall damage goes off, they're pushed into a wall. As they're being pushed into a wall, Shame throws his ultimate, but they're on the edge of that Fear No Evil, and they get immediately pushed out of the Fear No Evil.
Sav breastplate tank boots on the Guan Yu. Boots. All right, okay, the Sun Wukong's not that tanky, but the Guan Yu is. The Guan Yu's tanky. And, like, you know, that's, well, oh well. The tier, he's not exactly aggressively built. He doesn't have the Chapo Transcendence. He's got a Bulwark of Hope, a Breastplate of Valor, and boots.
Broadway's got the Transcendence, though.
Yep.
And he's topping the damage charts, too. yoyoabc getting ganked here by the Guan Yu as well. As the Susano pulled back in, Yo-Yo, his ultimate, it's not online right now. Here comes Shame, though, trying to help counter. Broadway pushed into a wall here, and Athena ult's on top of him. His ultimate, he needs to get it off if possible,
not available.
But he doesn't have it up.
So it's just got to ox away. Totally fine. not that big deal.
Still, though, Stormy's just stopping the back. Yo-Yo was in store. You could tell. He's still sitting there.
Paul.
He's got Blink. He needs someone to tank up this tower, though. He can't go in by himself.
Noble has no idea. Kevin, Noble has no idea.
Shame's going to have an idea here in a second.
Everybody has an idea. He just showed his face.
Guan's tanking up, but it seems like Noble are just going to disengage, and this is what they've had to do just because of Elevate. They have such a strong team fight right now. They're just trying to hold out every stance they can, and the game is still very close despite Elevate getting the first 2 Gold Furies. Only a few thousand separate the teams.
Paul, the strong knockup, allows his team to go ahead and pick up that Tier 1 tower. 500 gold in the pockets of Elevate for that. Meanwhile, Zachsy going to go ahead and take a Tier 1 tower.
Oh, look at this left-hand side. Lou wants to fight. He's actually ulting over. He's going to be coming crashing down. The tower's already down. There's the Mez, and Lou's just going to back off. I mean, he can't fight up against a Hou-Yi.
That's a protection against the Tier 2 tower. You know that's going to be a Tier 2 tower for Paul to transition.
Stormy
the problem is, Noble now, you're in some trouble on the right side. There's a fantastic Fear No Evil, if I'm honest, and Stormy going to find an exit either way. Great play from Freya here on the Susano.
Just had to use that Typhoon to peel, but Stormy's actually isolated by himself. There's the taunt, and here's Yo-Yo with the blink, but he's off the mark. That was a guaranteed kill if he connects. Unfortunately for him, though, he can't connect.
Hunter duel. Zachsy.
Fight it, Lou.
Lou.
Dash
Zachsy
in.
below half HP.
Dash in, Lou.
Lou looking for it. Taking it.
Nah,
Still missed
basics. If he hits the basic there, he probably dashes in.
Hits the basic there. Hits 2.
Ricochet's down. Can't do it, though. No wards on the map. Doesn't know where anyone is. So he's got to back off. Man would have fought that, though. Are you a man, Lou?
Nah,
Are you a guy who backs to the fountain? Okay, no. Just trying to finish his chit. He definitely couldn't fight that, by the way. He's not only up against a Hou-Yi, but also the Hou-Yi had Chins online, and he didn't.
Oh, I thought they both had Chins. Okay.
No, he just bought it. It would have actually been a really bad fight to take.
Yeah. I actually, the passive, the Mark of the Crow is actually obviously fantastic. It's probably the best hunter tool, but how does Audacity match up to that? It's got to match up a little bit.
I mean, it really depends, right? Like, if you're fighting in minions, you can get it stacked up. Like, when Audacity is activated, it's great. The problem is it's not, you're guaranteed that faster attack speed.
You're not
on
always
hits,
there, right?
Yeah. Overall, though, I'd say the Mark of the Golden Crow, because you can also have that stun in your kit.
Yeah,
if you can line up the Ricochet.
Yeah. It's still numero uno, but Apollo can definitely...
Apollo's really good. Apollo starts to take over in the Hunter 1v1 duels when
mid-game right before 5.
When ultimates stop mattering in Hunter duels.
Right, yes.
Because his ult is useless in fights, right? Rom, like, he can time his ultimate and win everything. It's a little bit harder there for Apollo.
Shivalaki ult is very good.
Yeah. Like,
oh, he's got a couple of options as well. Paul, on the other hand, well, it's all about the ultimate. Which one? You ever hear people talk about Hebo having like 4 ultimates or 3 ultimates?
Yeah, no. The first ultimate is his water cannon, then it's his water spout, then it's his true ultimate, and the 4th ultimate is actually his water cannon because it's only a 3-second cooldown.
So it's just twice.
It's just twice. 3 seconds, man.
That's why I love and I really hope to see Rod of Desolation.
Well, here comes the ultimate, looking for the water spout, but Shane jumps away. He doesn't want to get hit by it. Waiting for him, though, is going to be Broadway and StormyRays. And all they're doing is zoning. Broadway just going to make sure that Lou can't split push anymore, and he's going to have to rotate to the fight. And actually, maybe this is a fight that Noble could take because they're going to be able to ult over. But they got to go now. They can't wait anymore.
Yeah, fearless miss, and Stormy doesn't find the stun, finds the wrong target, and Stormy's going to pay for it, actually. That's... a shell.
Stormy makes it out. That's surprising. That's rough. Tank that up for like 5-6 seconds, surrounded by 4. No one else on Elevate really in a position to follow up.
4, no defense in the tower. And the tanks. That's the tank boots.
It's tank boots, man.
Tank boots.
It's also pretty tanky, right? He's got double physical protection, which is effective against towers, right? You got your breastplate, you got your sovereignty. It's going to be hard for those towers, and now he's starting to stack up the health as well, working towards the magical protection.
Yeah, Guan Yu, definitely reason he's banned most of the time.
I mean, Guan Yu really hasn't done anything too much. Okay, 14,000 healing. Never mind.
What was that?
1,200 coming out from the Athena. Got that meditation working up real good. Yep.
That's actually 1,200, not 12,000. I was going to say 12 is a lot compared to 15 from the Guan, but yeah, it's Guan Yu, ladies and gentlemen. His character is 0, 0, and 3. Meditation and his natural healing. and just able to.
Yeah,
completely...
I bet you he just like stacks up he probably walks into creeps, tanks it all up, and then just spams his heal. He's probably just stacking the numbers.
Look at this.
Everyone standing in the tower. Don't do damage to it.
Look at this right here. Tier clears out Stormy's ward, and then they both go hide, thinking it's been long enough. Stormy comes back, drops it, and now it's ward v ward. That was actually really fun. And Stormy stood still so that Tier could deal some damage to him, and then he healed himself up. Just saying.
Telling you, man.
I see you.
He's a cheater. I know it. He's cheating. He's stacking. He's the reason that T-Screen isn't around. Everyone, I'm going to have to ask that you blame StormyRays, also known as Words as Weapons, for the loss of the T-Screen.
That's
Everyone,
rough.
press F to pay respects in chat.
Press F dot.
No, don't ever do that. Fire Giant, though, being... I don't know if it's being looked at, but at the very least, it's being surrounded by Elevate. They're pressing into the jungle on the right-hand side. They're going to be stealing away this blue buff, or at least attempting to. Tier trying to get in here and stop it, as the 1v1 Hunter duel happens on the left. And Lou actually now looks like he wants to fight this, but he's got a Hebo right behind him. The blink forward, the knock-up, but he's made enough space for himself. And he's going to get away.
You know, that's what I was going to say right there. The Apollo, depending on player skill, can usurp the Hou-Yi, I think. If you can find all those hits on your Audacity, you're in the money. Scylla's not in the money. 3-on-2 right here on the right-hand side. Paul finally joining the fray, and he's looking to find that gnarly ultimate. Still available.
Broadway. I didn't know Paul could sing.
What's that?
I didn't know Paul could sing.
I'm missing
Join the
it.
fray. I didn't know he could sing.
Is the Freya band?
Yeah.
Is it like an awful radio rock band, like Trapped?
No, they're not rock. They're like poppy, I think. yoyoabc here. He's going to pop Stormy into their left-hand side. We have the one-on-one Hunter duel. Lou going to be way off the marks. Zachsy thinks he's going to hit it. So there's the Sanctuary. Tier 2 on the right-hand side, still being sieged. Stormy just trying to disengage so he can heal everyone up. But it's a 3-man taunt. And Shame, he could TP to this, but he's going to elect not to.
Freya's
as Broadway's tanking up everything.
Yeah, Freya just joined. Freya's here. Now it's going to be a change. Elevate's going to wait, reform. As soon as Broadway jumps down, I think we're going to see a re-engage, and we do. Stormy jumps up on the horse, looking for a stun. Gets one super in the backside. Sun Wukong focusing on the tower itself.
Different priorities right now for Elevate. Some are looking at that tower, some are trying to get the kill. And this means they're really not getting anything off this just yet. They've been able to force a couple people away, but now it is going to be the Tier 2 finally picked up. And the Hou-Yi's actually pressed up on that middle lane. They could look to rotate over and pick that one up.
Yeah, players were just looking to zone to allow the others to go ahead and pick up the Tier 2 tower. It happens. Elevate winds up with 1,500 gold in their pockets for their troubles. 6,000 gold in the lead is our Elevate squad at the moment, with only 5 kills. 5-2 read the kills. You know, it was very interesting. We started today off by watching Soar, and Soar wound up with a 31-minute game with 42 kills.
Okay.
Now we're watching Elevate, 26-minute game with 5 kills.
There's been a lot of action, though.
Exactly.
At least it hasn't been old school European Smite Season 1. Lou here, looking for the 1v1.
Go,
Good
Lou,
purification. This is guaranteed, right? And
nice.
It's going to be the last auto. Snipes him out. Doesn't even need the Athena on top. And that's going to actually be very, very important for Noble Esports. You know, despite everything right now, Noble Esports are only down
5K.
5K. That is not a lot considering we're 27 minutes in. And how much pressure Elevate has had on the map all game. Paul's going to walk in here, can find a 2-man knockup, and Lou soaks up that as well. And now, trying to get away, Lou's going to disengage, and it seems like he'll be able to get out.
For the moment,
Oh,
Paul does it. He's range, he has range, he has range. Misses, though, doesn't miss the water hands. That's a death for xXLOU. And now 3-on-1, stuck in the whirlpool. Grattywind trying to find an exit, gets taunted right into the monkey, right into the Scylla, and the Scylla takes out Paul.
Honestly, if Freya dies there from the I'm a Monster, Noble could just snowball that fight. He should fall here, one more hit, and he's actually going to be able to dash away.
Shame.
Jetstream not up. There it is, and Shame can't close the distance. Noble Esports start to answer back, though.
Shame really needed to find that. Shame has had trouble in the past being a clutch player. He just doesn't show up at these moments, unfortunately, and eesh, that's a little bit rough. It's a little bit rough if you're a Noble fan.
Still, though, Lou, 1-1-1, finds his first death. However, he's full build now, and that's really what you want out of your Hunter. He's going to be doing most of the damage, and the Scylla also has Rod up to Hoodie online, 50 stacks. I mean, this is still a good composition from Noble, and I think kind of Paul being so far ahead, I don't want to say, how do I explain this? It's not that He's kind of weaker now.
Okay.
Okay?
Elaborate.
Just because of how far ahead he is compared. So before, when Paul has a couple levels on the opponent, they can dive him, however, they don't have enough damage to kill him. Even though he's a squishy mage. Now he's in late game. Obviously, Paul's going to be doing more damage overall. However, people have tanked up, but he doesn't have that massive lead on people. And also, they should be able to lock him down because he's gone into no protections outside of the Dynasty Playtime. I mean, Shane needs to throw his ult, overhand smash, auto attack. If that's a crit because he has Deathbringer, the Hebo's close to dead.
It's the relative strength, exactly. Before, when you're sitting up 6 levels, well, hey, man, you can dive me all day, but now everybody's a little bit closer, especially as the game goes on. And again, man, I mean, this seems like it's really, really rough. But at the end of the day, I mean, you're down 3,000 gold, and the biggest point I'm going to continue to make, your composition is actually good this time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of comeback potential, right? Not only the Apollo for the split push as opposed to the Hou Yi, but they also have the Scylla where it's, I'm a monster, reset in a fight.
Yeah.
I mean, you hit it again on someone, don't even need the reset at that point. Just how much damage you're doing from that big burst mage ultimate. You can just win a fight and then roll into the opponent's Titan room.
It's definitely capable. It's definitely there. It's definitely an option. Will we see it is a different story. Paul and the Hobble has looked very, very strong so far, and we haven't even seen the big plays just yet.
3-1-1. He's been a part of most of his team's kills here. Freya as well, 1-0-4. But they've had trouble locking down people, and a lot of that I have to attribute to Noble Esports positioning in these fights. They've been playing back. They've been playing super passive. They've given up 3, now 4 Gold Furies after this one. And if they, push out a little bit more, and there's a couple more kills on the side of Elevate, I mean, Elevate probably have already won this game.
Ooh, Broadway forced into his ultimate a little bit early. Not a good look for Elevate at the moment. He's going to go aggressive as well.
And look at this, once again, Noble Esports. Oh, but they're all grouped up, and Stormy trying to find the stun. There's actually a blinking from Yo-Yo, and he's actually going to be able to push Stormy way deep into that tier 2 4-man taunt, and it's just to distract Elevate. There's no follow-up, but now they have the 1-man lead.
And now looks like Noble's going to go aggressive. Ultimate out of the monkey. Zachsy and the other purification going to be used. Freya in trouble. Overhand smash going to be avoided by a teleport. Fantastic play from the jungler. And now we also see the solo lane find an exit.
And Grattywind just trying to stop Paul from, getting back into this fight. You could see the push forward from Noble on the left-hand side, and that was such a big win. Obviously, they only secured 1 kill. They're going to have a little bit trouble chasing down kills, I think, with the lineup they've got and, kind of against Elevate's mobility. But if they can lock down Hebo, it's going to be really good.
Red buff going on Hebo, so certainly looking really good.
Everyone's looking really good right now.
Really good, man.
Great. Fantastic.
I don't know about that. I'm just saying really good.
Oh. Really good. And once again, though, 1 kill separating these teams, about 4,000 gold. We're 30 minutes in. 4K gold is decent, right? But, you look across the board, everyone Elevate is full build. Outside of the Hebo, who just finished this Soul Reaver, and of course the support. I mean, Noble Esports, they're just going to be really closing this gap now. It's not like Elevate are getting any stronger.
No, not at all. I mean, there's the fine limit of Smite, like you said. Hey, what Pantheon is Arlong Shen?
Erlong Shen? Japanese?
Ah!
I don't know why you're saying, like, pointing at me.
It's not Chinese.
Yeah, I never said that all 2-name
Square and rectangle, I get it.
Chinese. Zachsy!
Oh, that's a bad pick.
It's been squared off, actually.
Can't happen. Can't happen.
Paul immediately responds against Lou, so both hunters have fallen. Now Grattywind here. He's going to be knocked up, and StormyRays looking for the stun, and it's going to be guaranteed. They're canceling out his dash, and Paul picks up his 5th kill of the fight. Crush's going to do a fair amount of damage, but I mean, it's going to be immediately healed up, and still, Broadway diving deep. He wants more kills.
It's not going to happen right just yet. Shane's going to jump underneath the tower and be totally fine. And it's a 2-for-1.
This should be this tier 2. I mean, there's no way that Noble could stop that. I believe they've already burned their Fear No Evil they have. And now they're going to turn their attention here. Shame actually being run in a circle. He is going to jump away, but the tier 2 will fall.
This is like almost offensive. Your hunter got picked. You're not supposed to be rewarded for that. Your hunter got picked off.
Yeah, but Paul pressed 4.
32 minutes into the game, your hunter gets picked off, so
whoa,
you get a tier 2 tower.
That was what he said when he killed the other hunter.
He knew it was trouble. That is, going back, guys, I will tweet it out later on today. My absolute favorite piece of Smite, like, content, YouTube stuff, the Taylor Swift Trouble song with Hebo ult in the middle of it. one of my favorites.
Freya getting picked off here. So once again, Noble, I mean, they keep managing to answer back, and Lou gonna dive deep as well. Honestly, this is an even game.
Yes, very much so.
Momentum has been in Elevate's favor the entire time, and I think that's just kind of, you know, Hebo being so, I don't want to say dangerous, but like, you're kind of scared to play against him, and I think Noble positioned themselves where they didn't want to get, you know, all in dove by the Hebo. And now, actually, they're going to be looking for StormyRays. This is a lot of investment into him.
Well
He's going to be knocked away, and here's I'm a Monster, and it's going to be a reset.
That was perfect.
Probably not needed, the I'm a Monster, but at the very least, they've guaranteed that kill, and now 2 dead, and they can look to force this Fire Giant, and that's exactly what they're doing. The problem here is going to be Paul, though. Blink Hebo is online.
That was a perfect execution of the game plan. Fear no Evil ended exactly when you saw the Fearless come out, and the ultimate of Scylla exactly where that landed.
It's all on Paul. And he's already taken out 1. And Fire Giant has to be dropped. It's already reset. And this Hebo is just walking around, dealing with everyone in Broadway. I mean, he's just stopping Batz at this time. He is going to get his ult off just barely.
As long as it happens, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
well
so
played.
The Scylla by herself on the side there just can't happen. It just absolutely can't happen. Especially against this Blink Hebo, you know it's been in the game, and he's going to be looking for you on cooldown, and that you can't survive. If he blinks and knocks you up before you can Purify, and even then, you have to Purify and immediately Sanctuary. Fire Giant here, it's going to try to be stolen away by yoyoabc, but it's picked up clean by Elevate.
No, it's not. Noble Esports takes away Fire Giant in a very swift kill. Very, very fantastic stuff coming out from Noble. Not only are they very much in the game because gold doesn't matter anymore, but now they've got the Fire Giant lead. I
thought it was picked up by Elevate there, but yoyoabc, I mean, keeping his team in it right now. I mean, this is all Noble have to do in a fight. Deal with Hebo.
See, last time around, Kevin,
deal with Hebo.
When we were talking about it, Noble needed to tread water to get to this point, but then when they get to this point, well, you don't have that big burst damage. Noble needed to tread water to get to this point, and guess what? They've got the burst damage. Now they can deal with it. Noble, you didn't want to say it had all to do with the composition last time around, and I respect that, but I'm sorry, man. Noble lost game 1 because of composition. Game 2 is here. They have a better composition. They're playing just as well as they did, but they actually have the tools to win.
We'll see if they can do that, though. Elevate.
I'm so mad.
Paul, he's picked up a breastplate, so he's going to be a little bit tankier. I think that's necessary. He's
absolutely.
After he was able to successfully 2-shot the Scylla, I think he's like, okay, I have enough damage. Got enough damage, guys. I just need to stay alive a little bit longer. Also, that cooldown on the ultimate going to be reduced by that 20%, which is fairly significant, you know, if you have, you know, these extended Fire Giant engagements. And now Paul, he's going to be by himself, and now he's going to be rotating into his team. He still has that blink, but I think he's going to post up right here.
Yep. Paul, we've seen this a number of times. He likes to wait in that little cove on either side of the map and then just find the blink.
And in the meantime, it's going to be warrior v warrior. They've switched from the soul lane to the dual lane.
Yeah.
Still, though, 4v4 on the right-hand side. Stormy sitting in the front. And Noble Esports, they don't know exactly what to do because they've never actually had a lead where they're the ones pressuring the towers.
And there's the Fear No Evil, so they're going to jump right in the middle.
Don't do it, Shame.
He doesn't.
That's good. Sprint actually popped. Oh, and here goes Stormy here. He's actually going to find a 3-man stun, and Paul, he's just trying to set up. There's the blink. Oh, bye-bye. Water cannon, it's going to be held for the Sanctuary. Lines him up. Paul already finds the kill here, and now Grattywind's going to be chased down as well. The water spout's going to be activated, just turning his attention to Shame.
Bang.
What
good
Hebo
stuff
wasn't
from
dealt with. The Hebo wasn't dealt with.
Hebo.
I
love this character. There's just so much potential to just completely... We always talk about Scylla being the character to turn a game on its head. Hebo has the same potential, but he's more dangerous to pilot. He's harder to play. And actually, Hebo's definitely not harder to play than Scylla, but he's harder to play in reality against real players, right? The execution isn't as difficult as Scylla when you're trying to find your roots and find your crushes and your ultimate execution, but spacing, positioning, etc. makes this really tough.
And Paul has taken over the top player damage after that last fight over Broadway.
By 30.
The Phoenix here going to be picked up, and now Elevate looking good to start the closing. Noble, though, they've got a couple members spawning in 10 to 15 seconds. They can't lose Lou. They can't lose yoyoabc. They're honestly going to have to concede this and fight another time. They have to fight another time, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Fire Giant still hasn't spawned. They can't go for the win. The
Paul has ult.
I mean, the Scylla's just respawned. It's a little bit risky. I mean, you get one, I'm a monster. The other team, oh, they actually are going to isolate Paul. He's going to be late on his purification. But right now, yoyoabc does not have the damage to deal with him.
Man, Paul is a player that I really enjoy watching because he held his purification the first time because there's no way in hell that one tier Fearless is going to kill him, right? Nobody's there. The second Fearless that comes through, all right, Noble's a little closer to me. I got to purify this one and make sure to use it when he needs to. Great play. Broadway, we'll see you later.
A little bit of greed coming out from him. His third death of the game, 2, 3, and 5. He's also got a mystical mail online. I actually had to take a note very late into the game. I'm surprised about that one.
Yeah, I saw it in the when we saw the solo and was fighting over the tier 2. It's interesting. I like the choice because it helps him deal with some of the physical damage. Since I mean, Athena's not doing much; it's really just the Scylla. But I don't know. We'll see. It's cheaper.
I feel like he's stacking damage with that one.
Just trying to get his damage up.
Telling you, man. Just like scumbag StormyRays. Let's see his healing again. Probably been like tanking damage and healing up. Yeah, look at that.
22k.
That's a whole lot.
It's a lot. It's like 10 HP bars, basically.
That is a fair amount. And now, though, fire minions raining up the middle and right-hand side for Elevate. Noble going to be on their back foot. However, everyone's full build, so the gold really doesn't matter. You're only looking for that Scylla to finish off her last magical defense item. Just making sure she can't get 100 to 0'd. And I think that was kind of that decision that Supra's made after Paul was able to two-shot him, you know, 2 fights in a row there. And if this Scylla could stay alive in these engagements, I mean, that's all Noble really need, right? Because she's just getting eliminated before they can get rolling. And Paul's just left untouched.
Shame ults Freya right in the brain, and here comes Super from the side. Elects not to ultimate.
I mean, Purification would have been burned by Freya. He would have been out there by fine. But once again, that's the biggest problem I'm seeing from Noble, right? You look at their composition, and they have so many Purification burners, but they never burn anyone's Purifications. Anytime a fight finally breaks out, everyone has their relics up.
Yep.
If they early game would have just ulted that Hebo, put him on a 160-second cooldown, and punished him for going that blink, so the next time he fights, or if he wants to fight in the next, minute and a half or 2.5 minutes, like, he's not going to be able to get out of any CC, and you're just going to be able to Athena taunt him.
Paul's always going this blink.
Oh, Broadway almost dying. Oh, this is actually pretty good for Noble. They can probably concede this Fire Giant and get a Phoenix off of it. And look at this. The rotation actually is forced. The rotation is forced by Paul because they can't give up the Phoenix.
Yeah, Lou's going to go ahead and clear this wave and then die if he's not careful.
He could kill Paul for sure. I don't know if he's gone into crit build. Nope. He has not. Okay, so it won't be super easy. If he goes into crit build, I mean, he could just like two-shot RNG him. But he's not going to have as much sustained damage throughout fights, and especially against those frontliners.
Fire Giant now being positioned on. All teams pretty much even at this point, 13-9. Elevate definitely been a little bit more successful than Noble, but every single time Elevate gets something, Noble has correctly answered back. We're pushing 41 minutes here, folks. The first game was won by Noble pretty easily, or Elevate pretty easily, excuse me. Noble, not the same this time around.
And here they go. Fire Giant picked up yoyoabc. He stole the Fire Giant last time. Can he be the man to do it again? 40%. Here comes Paul. He's taunted out. And Shame from the side. Paul needs to be careful. His Purification, they're still up. But look at this. Supra's getting isolated. It's not even Paul this time. It's Freya to take him out. And that is not good for Noble. Paul still managing to stay alive. And Shame not going to teleport to him. He's a little bit too low to go in, and here it goes. Fire Giant very low.
Wonderful.
And Paul this time going to secure it.
Exactly what Paul needs to do. Hits the Fire Giant and the opposition, and down goes Noble. Tier finds a way out over the front side, and Elevate, they're going to go ahead and back.
Oh, Freya. Really nice play. Finds the jet stream onto the Hunbats, then teleports to it, switches his target, and Zachsy's waiting for the Hunbats at the end. A couple more hits. There it is. Freya picks it up. The Phoenixes have respawned, but the Hunter's already swinging away, and here it goes. This is going to be Noble Esports finding 2 losses here unless somehow Lou can hold.
Apollo's in the air. He's going to come right on down. Titan's still alive by about half HP. Lands down is the Apollo. Trying to find the basics, but there's too many, Kevin. He gets 1 kill. Zachsy gets another, and it's over. 42:04 on the clock, 70-10. Elevate takes 2.
And not the easiest or cleanest win for Elevate there in Game 2. Game 1, seemed much more consistent, much more real flow. However, still, Paul in this Hebo.
Yeah, I mean like he's been playing this Hebo since he was an outlaw. I mean, this has been his go-to character, Paul, previously known as Cray the Outlaw. I mean, it's just been his absolute go-to character. We've seen him dominate on it. And, you know, game one, I think, was not representative of the skill level of Noble. Game two, I think, is more accurate as to those are the types of games to expect between these two teams.
Yeah, in game one on the Zeus, I mean, he had his Hebo banned away, but I mean, the Zeus was no different, and especially against the composition from Noble, where they were kind of diving in and just still though he was able to hold his own in all these matches just fine.
Yeah, I mean, hold his own is putting it lightly, man. I mean, Paul definitely one of the bigger names here, able to get the direct damage and then the distance and then the Hebo. I mean, this is what I like to see. There's
like 4 clips of this, right? Of him just like knocking up people. I think he gets the Scylla twice, and you know, it's just really good presence of mind from him. You can see he like stays out of combat at the start of fights because he wants to make sure that his blink doesn't get put on that 5-second internal timer, or make sure to stay out of combat so you have that. And then right here, he sees the Scylla ulting, finds her because he knows that she doesn't want to ult onto herself. She's looking for a second setup, and then just knocks her up, lines her up with the ult.
And 2 things right there. Presence of mind, knowing that the Sanctuary is going to come out. You see that a lot of Najah players as well, just knowing it's going to come. And then also his use of water carpet. Every single time there's a corridor, it drops down, it slows the enemy. And one of my favorite things, if we were to look at, we're not going to, if we were to look at all of those plays again, every single time, Paul is way back here. He's way behind. He knows how to play that positioning perfectly.
You have to. But we have more SCL games coming up this week, guys. Tomorrow, we're going to head over to Europe. It's going to be Rival taking on xXL, and then Barrage taking on Excellence.
Rival and Barrage have looked very, very strong this year. Barrage specifically, they came out last week just absolutely insane. Very fun to watch.
They were great. They've always been phenomenal. And a reminder, too, we have the Summer Joust Series 3v3 going to be going on this Saturday and Sunday. We had Scott Gandhi join us for the last one. I don't know if he's going to join us for this one,
I'll
but
make him do it.
We'll see. At the very least, Hindu's back, so we'll be able to see him again. And then SCL will continue and conclude Week 4 on Monday.
It was a lot of fun, man. When you just said, "Don't worry, we've got more SC," I thought you meant today.
No.
And I was like, "Wait a second.
I gotta go to the bathroom, man. I can't do anymore. At least not right now. Maybe give me a 5-minute break."
Well, we're excited for tomorrow, so those 2 games are gonna be dope.
Yeah, they're going to be awesome. That's going to be it for us here today, guys. Thank you for joining us for the North American SCL, and we will be back tomorrow. And make sure, never, ever forget about them. Pack peace.